welcome back to STL TV Live. I'm Ivy Hartman, and joining me now is Travis Howser, and he's big guy on campus down at the Grand Center. He's the director of event and theater, so you can only imagine that encompasses just about everything that goes on in Grand Center. You take care of.
It's a lot. I wouldn't say everything, but it's a lot.
All right, first night is what he's here to talk to us about, and if you don't know, put it on your calendar, December 31st, 6 o'clock. All you need to do is it takes place on Grand Boulevard, inside and outside, 2 fireworks shows, 1 at 9 and 1 at midnight. To get your buttons, go to firstnightstl.org, and by button I mean that's an admissions button, and that button gets you a ticket to what?
Everything.
Yes, and when you say everything, let's expand on that.
This year there's a lot of music. Actually, we have a lot of music every year, but this year there's a lot of music. So in the Sheldon Concert Hall, they're going to have all Latin music upstairs, so there'll be a lot of opportunities to dance and enjoy yourself. Downstairs is Kim Massey and Brian Owens, and they're going to kind of work on the history of St. Louis through music, so that'll be pretty cool. Then outside, one new thing this year that's pretty exciting is we have this group called Flippin' Out, and they're kind of an extreme trampoline group, I guess you would call them. So they have 2 trampolines and a wall in between, and they will fly around and do all kinds of flips and anything you can imagine.
You know, our viewers might be familiar with them because the Flippin' Out, have they been on television before?
Yeah, they actually were they were one of the groups in America's Got Talent at some point in time.
I thought so. Speaking of talent, we have great talent here in St. Louis. You mentioned a couple of musicians performing at the Sheldon, Kim Massey and Brian Owens. Awesome. Gene Dobbs Bradford, Funky Butt Brass Band, all going to be great music venues down here. What are some of the other things you can do on first night?
Well, this year we're going to have a hypnotist. So you may be able to get hypnotized if you want to, but he'll pull a lot of people up on stage and hypnotize them. And then there's a lot of activities for kids also. So there's kids can go into a venue and they can do a make and take project where they can create their own things, they can get their face painted. There's a whole lot of stuff for that. But then we're also going to have a really large scale screening of Xanadu outdoors.
Really?
So
where?
It will be on the side of a building. You'll just have to come up and find it.
I love that. And part of the fun is exploring. You can see all the masses down there for first night in previous years. The crafts are a big hit for sure. All the musical venues. I like the regrets and wishes.
Right. This year is pretty exciting too. For wishes, since this is the 20th anniversary of First Night in St. Louis, we're going to build a 13-foot fake cake that will be pretty plain, but there will be a lot of sprinkles for people to write their wishes on, and then they'll be able to attach them to the cake, and before the night ends, it will be a cake filled with sprinkles that are wishes.
This must take a whole slew of volunteers to pull this off.
A whole slew of volunteers. We couldn't do it without volunteers. We really couldn't.
Are you still looking for volunteers?
Yes, we are. We
Great.
are. We're always looking for volunteers.
All right. Ticket opportunities or an opportunity to volunteer, you can find all that information at firstnightstl.org. Travis, anything else that you feel like everybody needs? Oh, I know, transportation.
Right.
Because look like there's a lot of people down there. What's the best way to get down?
There are a lot of people. There's multiple ways to come, but if you want to use the Metro, it'll take you to Union Station, and we'll have a shuttle that will take you up to Grand Center from Union Station. But then you can also drive down, and there's plenty of parking, and it's easy to get in, and trust me, it'll be easy to get there if you drive or take public transportation.
And I highly recommend getting your admissions button in advance, but if not, you can get them at Centene Center or
you can get them on our website,
okay.
And then we'll have a venue right on Grand in the Big Brothers Big Sisters.
Oh, and that's a nice visible building right next to the Fox. Firstnightstl.org. Everything kicks off at 6 o'clock. That's right, New Year's Eve, December 31st, and it wraps up with its second fireworks show at midnight. There is something for everybody. It's family friendly, but also you're seeing a new trend of 20-somethings.
Yeah, right. You know, families come out and we have a 9 o'clock fireworks show for them, but then after 9 o'clock, close to that later part of the hour, we're really seeing a new trend of younger folks coming out, and kind of that's the end of their night there, and they hang out on the street, but it's every age shows up, and it's suitable for every age too.
Perfect. Thanks for joining us, Travis. And remember, we like to keep you up to date with all of the great things going on around St. Louis. You can count on STL TV to do that for you, and you can find out about all those great events by friending us on Facebook, following us on Twitter, or by subscribing to our YouTube channel. And we also stream all of our programming live on stltv.net. Now, don't go anywhere, because coming up next, we're going to catch up with Mark, who's going to be talking about Improv Trick and their annual Christmas jam. I know you want to find out what Improv Trick is, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.